special person in which they share the world to, and they admire. The special person I admire is not wealthy, not famous, nor is she very well known. Everyone has a specific person they look up to. You even might be thinking of them right now. Mine is my mother. She is a person who I have trust and I have always looked up to. It is important that the world knows how important all mothers are around the world. Everyone in this classroom has a special person they look up to, which might be their mother. Throughout my life, I have developed such a strong relationship with this person. I am prepared to express how important of a person she is to me. Today, I'm going to discuss the importance of my very own mother and all the mothers around the world. Now that I have stated who my most influential person is, let me tell you why. On the first day of school, when I was a child, I stood at the edge of the front door with butterflies in my stomach. I said to my mother, "What if the new kids don't like me at school?" My mother whispered down to me on the very first day and said, "Treat others how you want to be treated, and you will make lots of friends, my dear. Be friends with everyone, treat others how you want to be treated back, and remember how strong you are." For all of my 20 years of life, these are words of wisdom that I still carry on with me. Anna Ellis explained in her article titled, "Why You Should Always Listen to Your Mother," that your mom really loves you. She wants you to be happy and to live a full life. So even when it may seem stupid or annoying, listen to what she always has to say. Your mother truly has the best interest for you, and I believe that any mother should want to do the world for her child. Or at least I know personally my mother would push buildings for me. Anna Ellis also stated in her article that mothers know best. I do believe Anna when she made this statement. I believe that this is true for many reasons. Sometimes it may feel as if your mother might not be right, but she usually always is right. Your mother should be an individual in which you can always trust. On the way to the emergency room for the first time a few years back, it was one of the most dreadful experiences of my life. The pain I was in was so excruciating, my vision blurred, and my speech slowly trembled. I could see a great amount of fear growing on my mother's aura, which only made me fear more of what could be happening to me. It was at that moment when my mother must have realized that her own weakness of being frightened only made my own thoughts worse. In that moment, my mother squeezed my hand as the doctors prickled me with needles and such. She looked me in the eyes, and I understood that I could trust her, no matter what, even if words were not being communicated. Even though my mother was in so much fear that day, she pulled herself together, and her bravery overcame her expression. Our mothers are so brave when it comes to raising their sons and daughters. In certain incidences, our mothers understand what is truly needed with their child, and no matter what is necessary, they will overcome any fear in order to help their young. Clint Edwards expressed in his article titled, "Mothers, You Are Brave," that bravery of your mother is something that all mothers are supposed to do, and it's been happening for so long. There is something inside a mother, some spark of God or genetics. The type of bravery a mother possesses is so empowering when it comes to her own child. There are times in which mothers can overpower any type of fright in order to protect their young. Mothers love their children so unconditionally it brings out the best in them. It is true that our mothers are incredibly brave for us when they need to be, but mothers also bring out the bravery in us as well. Wendy Jedson wrote in her article titled, "The Power and Influence of Mothers on Society," that children look up to their mothers and often imitate their behavior. There is a hypothetical saying that is, "Do as I say, not as I do," which does not work. Children often repeat whatever behavior they observe, regardless of what they are told. Children observe everything they see their mothers do. From the very beginning, we are tied to our mother's waist from the birth until we are off to college. We reflect our mother's personalities. We are more alike than you thought. Thus, a child, when we see our mother's bravery, we tend to reflect their toughness. Wendy Jedson also wrote in her article that it is mothers who most directly affect the lives of our children. It is mothers who nurture their children, and it is them who raise them up to be however they want to be. Therefore, it is important that our children see and reflect how mothers react. Because we reflect what we see our mothers do, it is important that our mothers understand their very own importance. The day had come, after driving over 3 days throughout a different country than my own. I squeezed my mother as hard as I could before I said goodbye for the very last time. The toughness it took to let my mother go as her warm arms left my side, as tears ran down both our faces. I looked up to my mother and whispered, "Thank you for everything you have done for me, and thank you for this wonderful opportunity." The day my parents dropped me off at college last year was the hardest goodbye of my life. By being a mother, you have one responsibility: to raise your children to your best. But it's important that mothers all around the world understand their importance. My mother has given me the world of opportunities, and that day she dropped me off at college was a very emotional evening. This was because it made me realize how much my mother has done for me and has gotten me this far. Jill Savage wrote in her article titled "The Power of Mother's Love" that mother love shapes cultures and individuals. While most mothers know that their love and emotional availability are vital to their child's well-being, many of us do not understand the profound and long-lasting impact we have in developing our young children's brains, teaching them their first lessons of love, and shaping their consciousness. Our mothers are with us from the very beginning, and it is very important that mothers all around the world understand their impact on their children. There may be times where children can be challenging, and it may seem as if we do not appreciate all that mothers do for us. But in the end, we really do appreciate what they do. Tiffany Fletcher wrote in her article titled "5 Truths About Mothers" that in daily life, it is true that mothers are schedule keepers. They prepare meals, dress children, pack lunches, chauffeur regularly, schedule doctor appointments, wipe tears, and many more. These are just some of the things that mothers do for us every single day. To me, this seems like a lot, but for many mothers, this is just the regular. It is so important that we as a society remind our mothers how much we really do appreciate them. Mothers all around the world are incredibly valuable, and they need to be thanked for their accomplishments. Today I spoke not only about my important person, but a lot of important people for other people around the world. It is so important that the world understands how much the mothers do for us and their children. Mothers are so important across the world. Everyone needs to have the love and care of a mother. But it is important that women who are our mothers realize how much we appreciate them. Thank you.